Welcome to episode 2 of Bedlam Hall. All players are still here, so I haven't messed it up too bad, or they haven't been traumatized by the family or the house. So that's cool. We like that. Let's jump into it and introduce the stars of the show. Always the players. Let's start over here with Philip. Hey, Philip, how you doing?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Excellent. And next we have Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason. Stay hydrated, drink lots of water, and go get your COVID vaccine. There are lots of them to go around. It's completely painless. I got done yesterday. You're next.
Yes, we definitely advocate for vaccines. We are not sponsored by any drinking water company, though. The Scouts Kids Fellows is not in any way sponsored by anybody. And last but not least, we have Steve.
Hello. That's all you're getting.
Apparently, my intro is a lot more exciting.
Funny. You guys are slaying
Also,
me.
tea, the drink of champions.
Tea, the drink of champions. Excellent. So there we are. So let's rehash a little from last episode. The three of you converged on Malbane Manor. Just 3 of the family showed up for the initial house opening. Basically, they came back from London after the winter and after the war. Strangely, they stayed in the city during the war. Not the most tactically sound choice during World War One, but yes, we're 4 months past the end of World War One, the Great War as it was known then. And so you the Malbanes came back, Mortimer, Delilah, and Adam, their son, and so did the staff. Staff put things together, got things in order, prepped everything, etc., and somehow survived dinner and getting the house ready and tending to the family. And we're not emotionally scarred by any of that, I'm sure. So
Yet.
It's a goal.
I have no trauma, so we're fine.
Yeah, no. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched, as the saying goes. So all right. So this episode, the staff will find kind of abruptly that the rest of the family is now joining the original 3 all at once. They've been coming back from overseas. They've been coming back from, the war. They've been coming back from other places, etc., and it's time for the family to come home, all except Scarlet. Scarlet is, as you will find, is missing. She is as we saw, she's the black sheep of the family. So at first, at least, there's no explanation as to why she will not be joining us immediately. But there we go. So, as we kind of discussed last episode, I definitely don't want to get into the kind of like minutia of every day. That's boring, even in the Malbane Manor setting. So let's focus on some interactions and what happens, with the family and y'all, and each other for that matter. So I'll set the scene and just pipe up when you're looking to do a scene. Let's start off with, I'll have each of you choose a family member that you're having an interaction with, and we'll go from there. But before then, there's this whirlwind of stuff going on, and both the family and you are all flustered as everything is just not quite in place, but getting there. And the manor is just being flooded with people. It's being there, everyone's trying to not bump into each other in the hallways as they go flurrying about back and forth. Certain young masters are still watching certain butlers come and go at every turn, every corner from the shadows, and there are many shadows. Before we get into that, let's do the intro movie. Yay! Which I finally did. Thank goodness. Way to go, Scott. There we go. No fanfare.
Yay.
That's fine. Yay. Oh, thanks. That's it. Good. All right, here we go. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. So yes, that was the intro movie. Finally in there. I finally got it done, got off my butt and did some stuff. So there we go. So now that you've had just a little time to think, is there let's start with Steve, why don't we? Is there a family member that you're interested in interacting with to start with?
I think Malachi. We haven't seen Malachi yet. I'm sure he's back.
Excellent. So Malachi.
How old is Malachi?
He is just a few years old. We'll say he's a whole 3 years old. I have yet to post this there, but basically the story, everyone kind of knows the story in the staff that Damien in the start in the kind of like the entry of England into the Great War was originally stationed in Greece, where he kind of was he was an officer and an advisor, whatever. He was a rich kid who got a commission and kind of went from there. No real skills, but had this liaison with a woman, and yeah, because you need that for a child. And then yes, and that's where Malachi came from. He overtly brought back Malachi and kind of brought up the story. Malachi, whether he's acknowledged or not, the fact is he does carry the Malbane line within him.
Is Electo also back?
We aren't sure of Electo.
So the other question, since an interaction with a 3-year-old isn't very, interesting probably for either of us for conversation. Who takes care of Malachi?
Oh, interesting. I'll say that
is there at least a nanny of some sort?
I'm going to say no, because that would be way too easy. Why what have you read the description of this game?
Not much on staff,
I'm going to say that
the quality ones they've chosen so far.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that Malachi, though 3 years old, speaks much more refined than a 3-year-old should. So if you still want that interaction, we can do it and make it interesting.
Sure. No need to have a head spinning, demon child in the house at all.
No, not that. We would not want that at all. All right. So, actually, and why don't we talk about Malachi's room? We haven't kind of talked about that, and since you're the first one to enter it and probably help set it up, what does Malachi's room look like? Him being like the bastard child of the family, quite literally.
It is full of creepy dolls that have been handed down by the rest of the family.
As they all
various states of, repair or, originality, all with, haunted looking eyes.
Nice.
As pretty much, I think, all dolls in that time period kind of haunted looking eyes.
Yes. Have you seen Victorian era? Yeah. Anything? Yeah, the happiest Victorian era stuff is terrifying to see. So there's that.
And, I think they keep Malachi company.
Nice. So all right.
Let that go where it does.
Exactly. So yeah. So as you come in, Malachi is he's a 3-year-old. To be quite honest with you, I don't hang out with many infant type children, so I don't know how big that is or what their development is, or I don't know. I'm sorry, Scott is not an expert on these things. I'm going to say he stands like 3 feet-ish, normal looking kid, but he's kind of like taking stuff out of a bag and a sack. Everyone else has big suitcases and trunks, and he has a sack that he puts the stuff in. Again, he's the young bastard. And do I have to bleep that out? I don't think so. So it's a descriptor as opposed to a pejorative, right. Really. So he's kind of taking things out of a bag, and his back is to you, and he's wearing one of those kind of like in the era, the young boys and girls would wear pretty much the exact same thing. So it looks like he has kind of like a skirt length like coat on, and long shorts with the stockings pulled all the way up to his knees, and the little shoes and stuff. And as you kind of enter, he turns around and kind of looks at you and looks you up and down for a second. He's like, Reynolds, can you come here for a moment, please?
Yes, Master Malachi. And I'll approach.
He has you like, he kind of gestures to like stand next to where he is. He's like, look over there. And then he kind of puts his hands like on like your hip and your back to guide you, and he moves you like 4 feet over to the right. He's like, their eyes won't leave us. He points to like the big wall of terrifying dolls.
Like, no, Master, they won't. Would you like help unpacking your things?
He kind of looks over at the sack. It's already empty of its 8 things. And he's like, he kind of looks at that, and he looks to you like you're a freaking moron. like, no, Reynolds, I don't need help unpacking my half dozen items, but I do appreciate the thought. Now, if you want to help me poke out all their eyes, perhaps that I would take you up upon. I'm sure Mama would understand.
Sharp, forthwith.
Oh my god! All right. Well, only in Malbane Manor will you give the child the scissors to run around with. Excellent. Bonus points for that.
And I will fetch him something sharp, like a darning needle, sewing needle, longer ones for like, I don't know, crochet and stuff.
Knitting needle.
Yeah, knitting needle.
Nice. So he kind of takes it,
just sharp enough to be, a problem.
So he takes it in his hand, and he does this weird twirl, like someone does these days, with the on the drumstick as they're the what's what I'm looking for? It's like a flutter.
I don't know what it's called, but yes,
you know exactly the English I'm looking for.
It's a flourish.
Flourish. Thank you. And he's like, I'm certain that we can keep this between you and I. Yes, Reynolds?
Yes, young master.
Very well, then. I appreciate it. I know that my grandfather won't say anything kind to you, but I've always appreciated your generosity with your time with me, even though I am but a child.
You are wise beyond your years.
This is true. He's like, you are dismissed, Reynolds.
I'll bow and leave.
On the way out, as you're just almost out of earshot, you hear, all right, time to go blind, my little lovelies. And then you get the hell out of there, because that's what normal people should do. Ish. All right.
That is a legitimately scary 3-year-old.
It's not like you tried to stab Reynolds, right?
Not yet.
Not
yet. All right. How about Mr. Current? Who is the family member you're looking to do a quick little scene with?
Who do we have to choose from? Clearly I must attend to the twins.
Alexander and Alexandrina. So as we know, their rooms are as far away from one another as they can be in the manor. No one has given like a reason for this or anything. The family seems to kind of infer that that's just how it happened. You dole out the rooms, but there are so many rooms that are unused between here and there. There's really no reason. But basically the children need help in both rooms, but they like to be with each other. It's that much is obvious. And when they encounter you, they're like, current.
Ah, children, delightful to see you again. What is it you need today?
And they're what they're can't remember exactly what age they are. I believe they're like 12-ish. But they're like they come towards you holding hands, and they're like, "Have you seen our Petunia?"
Unfortunately, as it seems this time, I have not. Did Petunia accompany you on the train back from London?
Oh, no, she came via coach. And Alexander sighs. I'm afraid we shan't see her this evening, though I shall miss her.
By coach. Well, I shall certainly keep an eye out and see what might, if a coach does come here later today.
Maybe we could get that lays about Emerald or Opal, Ruby to go into town and pick her up.
Oh, you believe the coach is in town?
It will be. What are you, daft man? Where would a couch go otherwise, besides from town to town?
Why, I expect the coach would bring Petunia right here, as is right and proper.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? But be that as it may, we'll have to talk to that Ruby woman. Craft? And they kind of go back and forth. It's that little spooky twin thing. They each, Crimp, Crucible, Kringle, Croft, the driver.
Her, yes. Yes, no, speaking to her might be well advised. Perhaps she would prove to be good for something.
Doubtful. So the two kind of lead you into Alexandrina's room, and she kind of looks around. Her stuff is already there. Unlike Malachi, she has just suitcases and trunks and outfits, and like a good Victorian era woman of this, this time she has like, what do you call it? Just like a change of clothes for, every other hour of the day type of thing. Hey, it's Aaron coming to visit. Are they teens? They're 12-ish. But there's that. So yes. Alexandrina kind of leads you in, and says, Mr. Current, I'll be needing you to inspect under the bed and in the closet over there. And you notice Alexander doesn't come into the room. It's not allowed. His parents don't allow them to be in the same room together unless it's a common area.
Yes, no, very good. And I will certainly go and check out everywhere I'm supposed to, and a couple places I haven't been told to, but, proper decorum and all of that.
Well, you hear like this like rustle about, like Alexander is just suddenly running down the hall and then back, and then as you're kind of like, probably looking around, peering under the bed, you hear Alexander, no, Current, use this just in case. And he has a pistol in his hand.
Aha. Well, very, very good then. Right? And I'll, tap the pistol against my forehead and do a little bow towards him. Kind of a salute sort of thing. All right. Here we go. Let's just see what is in this closet here. And with one hand, I'll grasp the knob and yank the door open, and the other one, I will point the pistol in the closet while I adopt a absolutely, ridiculous dueling stance. As I swing up the door, I'm like, "Have at thee!"
And Alexandrina's like, "What's in there?"
Well, door is open. Pistol is leveled. What do I see in there?
You see already some of her stuff has been put away, probably by her mother. Several, like a rod of clothing there. There are, just kind of the standard stuff. You do notice as you kind of like have opened the door, on the inside are a bunch of weird, well, they're scratches. As if, yeah. So there's scratches on the inside of the door. They don't look fresh, for certain, but yeah. And you hear Alexander go, "Well, what are you waiting for, good man? Fire a warning shot."
Well, I don't see anything yet. I'm not sure if it's in here or if the coward it has fled before me.
That's what it wants you to think. Don't be a coward, Carrot. So now you can either, you can, if you want to steer them, you'll need to make a move. But they're trying to order you to do this. You can guide their direction if you would like. Or you could serve the house. I'll call shooting a ghost in the closet going above and beyond, and et cetera, et cetera.
Actually, I want to take a moment to verify that everything is in its place.
Oh, all right. Let's do that.
Examine this closet carefully and figure out what's been going on.
All right.
So, and I get to roll with something extra.
Oh, because of your butler move?
Yes, it's a place for everything. I'm sorry, verify everything's in its place. That is 3 dice and a +1.
Excellent.
There's 3 dice, 4 plus 3 is 7, +1 makes 8. I get partial success. I get 1 question.
All right. What is your question?
Who has been in here last?
Ooh, good question. I will say you definitely smell the perfume of their mother, Peyton, in here. So it's certainly her. It was relatively. It had to be of recently because it would have dissipated by now had it been anything else.
Good Master Alexander. I have picked up the scent. There is none in this closet, as you can see, and I'll reach in and use the pistol barrel, push aside the dresses and clothing to expose back. There's none in here, but I know where they went. Stay here. It is far too dangerous for somebody of your magnanimous importance, but I shall root this mystery out for you.
Yes. I will say, now that you have actually pushed it aside, just looking in, without requiring a move, anyone could see scratched into the back, however, is "Please let me go." In kind of straight line type of scratching, like someone spent quite a lot of time putting the depth into them. What do you do?
All right. I'll see. So, you, Master Alexander, please remain in a place of safety and do look out for the well-being of your sister. as that is one of the most important duties of any gentleman of your stature. And I shall go and further investigate and report back to you on my findings. I'm sure that does count as guide their direction. So I'm trying to convince them basically to,
to not make you shoot.
Go to the room, stay out of trouble. Behave.
All right, go ahead and roll plus persuasion.
7.
7. All right, they consider suggestion, but will follow it under certain conditions. Let's see.
You.
Yes.
Wait, Jason, are you intending to roll D4s?
Oh, are those D4s? Oh,
Yep.
damn it. Oh, well, I'll take them anyways. I got a 7.
All right, so let's see here. Okay, on 7-9, they consider suggestion, but will follow it under certain conditions selected by the master of the house. I'll say, as long as you leave the gun behind with Alexander, they'll be happy to do that.
All right. So tell them to stay there and begin to go out the door. At which point Alexander will say, "Well, I need something to protect her with." They're like, yes, you do, young master. But while he's to my back, I am going to surreptitiously unload the shot from the pistol.
Ooh.
Now, when you say a pistol that he fetched, I'm assuming this is like an old style flintlock single shot.
No, this is a modern era weapon. So it would have a magazine, I think, or no, actually, I suppose this would be a revolver.
It could be a revolver or a semi-auto.
I'll say it's a revolver.
Colt 45 was invented in 1917, so
I don't
it's
know
a
how
revolver.
You know these things. Just
because it's actually called the Colt M 1917.
Thank you.
But yeah,
History Channel. But yes, it'll be a revolver. So yes, you can flip open the cylinder and remove whatever.
Shake the bullets out and surreptitiously slip them into my pocket, and then I'll be, and then loudly, spin the barrel just like they do every time they show Russian roulette, and snap it shut, and hold it by the barrel, and hold it out. It's like, all right, I'll be back soon. You take good care of Alexandrina, and hand him the pistol. And off I go at a leisurely but semi-urgent jog.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be out of sight by the time you realize the gun's empty.
Yeah, well, to keep with the theme going on so far with Reynolds and you, as you're just about turning that corner and out of earshot, you hear, "I don't worry, sister. I brought extra bullets in case there's more than 6." And we go to Ms. Croft. Who is Ms. Croft interacting with?
Let's do Damien.
Damien. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So Damien, the was it third child?
We have the ice cream.
She's the second child.
Second child. Yeah, second child of Mortimer and Chastity.
He's Malachi's father.
Yes. Sorry, look at my notes. So yes, he is. Where do you meet him? Where do you meet up with him at?
Well, I assume it's kind of been all hands on deck, bringing in luggage from the car, seemingly incessant amounts of luggage. So maybe I'm bringing in a last case or two stacked on one another, and we meet in like the main hall or one of the corridors or something like that.
Gotcha. He's like, Croft. I'm sorry to bother you, but would you mind helping me for a moment?
Of course, sir. It's no bother at all. What can I help you with?
So, it's a private matter. If you could over here, please.
Oh, okay. And I'll put the cases down on the floor and follow him.
All right. He leads you back to a nearby powder room, and he's like, "Please close the door behind you."
Yes, sir.
And he puts out his left hand, and it's like, or I'm sorry, puts out his right hand and shows you the dangling cufflink. And he's just like, he kind of flexes his left hand, and what the staff knows about him is that he was hurt in the last part of the war. A wild animal actually gnawed on his forearm at some point. The details are, few and far between on this, but he was gnawed on, and it's one of the reasons he was discharged just before the end of the war. He was unfit to serve physically, and he's basically has the cufflink kind of dangling there. It's like, I would only ask one of the staff. I couldn't ask this of a fellow family member. I hope you understand. I know this looks untoward, but I assure you, I just need my cufflink done, and I can't for the life of me grasp it. I can't grasp anything at the moment, and it hurts. I can't tell anyone, but the staff. I trust you.
Of course, sir. I will gladly help you. And I'll go and do the cufflink. I guess I'll pull it out first, and then hold the ends of the cuff together, and then slide the cufflink in and snap it on.
Yeah, you can just tell he's like, it's hurting him to ask this of even the staff, much less a woman.
What is the name of the type of staff that normally would be doing this? There's like
I want to say it's a valet.
Valet.
Yeah,
valet.
it's valet.
So I'll say, as I kind of see his embarrassment, I'll say, "Don't worry, sir. I will be your valet for the day."
Thank you, Croft. Do you prefer Croft or Ruby or Rube?
Well, sir, my friends call me Rube, but I don't necessarily believe that would be appropriate. But as you are my employer, you may call me whatever you like.
Well, I will call you Croft. I don't want anything to be untoward. So thank you so very much. I appreciated it. I can sometimes just not get the grasp I need.
I understand. Sometimes with an injury, you end up still feeling it, even when the doctors say you're healed.
I hope you never have to experience it firsthand. And he kind of like opens the door, and he kind of, as he's turning around, he's like, he whispers, kind of like this stage whisper. Thank you, Ruby. I wasn't able to get it in the hole alone. It was very tight. And that's about when Reynolds passes just straight by, and Croft is about to come out of the powder room.
As I just cough as if I wasn't paying attention, and continue on my walk, maybe with a surreptitious glance inside the powder room.
I will adjust my uniform and come out.
Like, Mrs. Croft, if you're not otherwise occupied, there's a list of things that need to be picked up. Things the delivery drivers will not get a chance to today.
Oh,
I'll hand you a list that has, 2 extra servant uniforms. It has, makeup from the pharmacist for Lady Malbane. Along with various, cleaning supply type things. Extra linens, bleach, whatever. Sorry, borax. Is it borax at this time?
I think it is. That sounds correct.
And I thought there was one other thing.
There would also be bleach.
And then there's, how big is this town that's nearby? Is it like the, hamlet, village type thing, or?
Yeah, that kind of thing. You are in the middle of nowhere. And again, yeah, you're right. That little hamlet village, it exists to basically serve the local farmers. Is like this this the farming community created the little village out of necessity for the these modern things like mail and et cetera, et cetera.
And there's a hastily scrawled thing, obviously in the same hand, but looks like it was added at the very end, and it's 2 dozen doll eyes.
2 dozen doll eyes.
Very good, very good. And if there aren't enough doll eyes, should I place an order for them to be delivered?
Yes, please.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Reynolds, I hope that you'll keep matters to yourself, of course.
Good day.
You as well. And I'll pick up the cases and go on my merry way.
Excellent, excellent. So yes, again, we don't want to get into the minutia of the day. I'll say that dinner is served. The food comes up through the dumbwaiter as it always does. There was a slight disagreement as to place setting now that everyone is here, but Petunia is not, and Petunia does get a place setting. But so stuff wasn't quite right. But we all smooth that out. Things are okay. And we find the 3 staff, the woefully overworked and underpaid, and wishing that there were maybe more people, staff, sitting in their area. Let's see. So that is, again, I kind of got to learn the terms. It is the let's see. What is your special room?
I think that's the hall.
It is your servants'
The
hall.
horrendous
Yes.
hall.
Yes, the servants' hall, which we haven't been in yet. So here we are. Actually, I think we were briefly, but I'll re-describe it. So this is the servants' hall is a common area for the staff. It's the downstairs equivalent of the dining room, drawing room, etc. This is your place for relaxation, minor chores, buffing shoes, etc. Things that are too cumbersome to do in your room, that kind of thing. So there are several issues, and we're experiencing them tonight. As night falls after dinner, a rain, thunder, lightning storm comes through. The reverberating boom of the thunder after the lightning strike by just a few seconds. You're seeing like the through the main window in your hall. You're actually seeing the trees outside, and every time the lightning strikes, you see the expression of anguish or anger or rage seem to change on these faces. The shadows caused by the lightning are forming, and you have the ever-present tick, tick, tick of the tree limb with its hand gnarled appendage constantly beating against it as if it wants to be just let in. I'm not sure what that is in the background.
No matter how many times we ask that gardener, he just will not trim back that tree.
So, what is your kind of like your after hours activity here in the staff hall?
I think one of the things I tend to do is I'm always sort of, because I have the role of headmistresses, is that I'll be or housekeeper. I'll be darning things. Actually like mending items for the family.
That never happens here. They don't rip or cut things or whatever. Everything's just fine like that. But
occasionally, I'll pull out, like a dress or something, and I'll have a gash across it, and I just
it's like dropped on your workbench from nowhere. So it's like just fix it and put it aside for it to be mysteriously picked up by whoever.
Put it back.
Excellent.
Like any unusual requests, Mr. Current?
No, nothing that needs fixing tonight. Just gonna sit in a corner of a nice, relaxing cup of tea and play solitaire, I guess. And just, tune them all out.
Tune it all out.
I'm having a smoke and doing my reading since it's too dark in the garage.
Yeah. Croft spends an inordinate amount of time in the servants' hall for some reason. She's not very chatty, but she likes to be around, social or something. I don't know. It's a mystery to everyone, I assure you.
And is she reading her penny romance novels? Or are they mysteries?
They are some of the new things by Mr. Lovecraft and such.
Fitting.
I call it my studying.
Oh my god. Excellent. By the way, Croft, they not only could they not fill the order in town for the doll eyes, but as if you weren't considered, strange enough, or the people who you work for kooky enough, you've now been, labeled that strange girl in town.
That strange girl. Oh, because of the doll eyes. Yes. Yes, I was very insistent that we needed a variety of colors. And it didn't go well.
It's good to have variety in doll eyes when you're replacing them, when kids cut them out,
Well, I just don't ever want to walk into that bedroom and have 12 pairs of matching blue eyes staring at me from the dolls.
You have a good point there, actually.
One of us.
All right. So, what,
I would like to.
Go ahead.
I don't know if this is. I know something I can do.
Please do.
I would like to spend a prestige to gain a suspicion.
Ooh. So here, this is our very first time. Thank you for starting with the rules. So yes, one of the things you can do with your prestige is spend to gain a suspicion. Now, my understanding of the rules, and I keep
is that it can just happen whenever, but
yeah. So I keep Jason around as my rules master because he understands all these things better than I do. But yes, so now my understanding is that the suspicion can either be of a secret of a fellow staff member or a trouble. Are we going with that, or is it specifically? Is it getting a suspicion specifically for a secret?
I think you can do both.
I just want to verify before I go
When the
doing
member of
stuff.
staff spends a prestige to gain a suspicion, Master House will provide a simple description of the circumstances surrounding another person's secret or trouble, either by writing a secret or describing it to the table. Although circumstances are truthful, they do not specifically indicate which staff member or family member is being referenced,
Gotcha.
or all of the surrounding details. Occasionally, other members of staff will be suspected, or the entirety of suspicion could be misinterpreted. Luckily, the players will never jump to illogical conclusions or take actions based on incorrect information.
All right. So actually, yeah. So I will pay you for that by saying, kind of in your comings and goings during the day, one of the unnerving parts was you came upon a small stash of spent bottles of laudanum. If taken all at once, by far they would have murdered a large horse several times over.
And there's only a small horse in this house.
There's only a small horse. Touché, sir. But yes. So you find this stash of laudanum bottles that are completely empty and dry. Not even a little bit to taste.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Excellent. So, yeah, it's not too long as you're kind of doing your thing, minding your own businesses, trying to be, good servants of the house. And Alexander and Alexandrina run in, and they look a bit flustered. What do you do?
I will close my book and forget to put in the bookmark as usual. And I'll stand up because I am still new to the staff, so I'm not quite sure how to behave with all the kids and things. But I'll stand up and Master Alexander, Miss Alexandrina, how can we help you?
So yeah, they both look terrified. They're both holding hands as they always do. And they're like, it's Malachi. We don't know who to go to. Everyone else is dead asleep. We couldn't wake anyone. He went out to hunt fireflies in the middle of the night. He's out there on the grounds.
Okay, and I'll go grab my jacket or coat, probably heavy coat.
And
I will.
go ahead.
I will
Go ahead,
stoke
Ross.
the fire to make sure that you have a warm spot to return to.
Thank you.
And Alexandrina will be like, "What are you doing? Are you daft, Reynolds? We need everyone everyone to be available to search. It's the grounds. There are wolves out there."
And if someone is not here if the young master returns to take care of him, he will fall ill.
Are you directing the family?
I think I actually am going to say Curran will be happy to help and go out with Miss
Oh shit!
I'm going to direct the staff.
Oh, so nice.
Really?
Oh, we went there already. All right, nice. All right, so yeah,
Which I do with
Etiquette.
well, I do with etiquette, but I also do with it something extra.
Ooh, nice. So yeah, roll 3d6 and take the two higher ones.
Whew.
Um,
That was almost a wretched roll.
you have +2 on etiquette?
I do.
Well done.
So 7, nice. All right, so 7, 9. They do follow your directives, but get to select one of the following. What will you select?
What is the payback?
What is the payback?
You know what? It's time. It's not yet time to turn the knife, but it's definitely time for the knives to come out. I want to gain a suspicion about one of your secrets.
Interesting. I don't think I could do better than the person with the secret. So, what suspicion would you like to offer?
If we don't want this public at a table, you can just DM me over Discord.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually better. Let's do that. We're gonna keep these quiet until they come out.
Right, but I assume Scott wants to know too what I say, or
sure.
How does this work out?
Just get it to him. I already know your secrets.
That is true.
Yeah. So, suspicion is, like I said, the circumstances surrounding a secret, but does not specifically indicate all of the details could be misinterpreted. It is clear who it is, unlike with Prestige, but yeah. So you don't have to just say, oh, this is the secret, but, if the secret is, say, alcoholism, you could say that I found a bunch of empty bottles or something, things like that.
Excellent.
Okay.
Let me know if that's enough. Of course, it's not specific enough for you to know anything, but
excellent. All right.
I'm good with this. This is interesting.
All right, nice.
This is interesting.
and also Scott, just so he knows.
Okay, thank you. Cool. All right. So yes, you have to do it. Croft is already the dutiful one already is getting her jacket and everything. So it looks like it's Croft and Current against the world.
Mm,
That's probably a
I
TV
roll
show title in the
when I
making.
go out and
and
roll
it's like this,
up.
I know it's like I guess you clearly have something far too important here that you need to look after. Clearly, I shall remember this. Come, Miss Croft.
Come on, Mr. Current. There's no need to be dramatic. Let's go out.
Let us do as the housekeeper commands.
I'll kind of grumble as I turn up my collar. Oh, handed you, not me.
Cool. So are you going to go out separately, together? I'm not even sure
I
which one
assume
is
we'll go out
safer.
together. I'll kind of pause at the doorway and ask the twins, like, did you see which direction he went?
And they're obviously like totally lost in the house with the whole directions thing. They're like one points that way, another points this way.
Okay, great. Thank you. We will be back. Come on, Current, please,
Yes,
if you don't mind.
I'll put on a suitable jacket, apparently for the weather, and step out behind Miss Croft.
Ladies first.
Cool.
Excellent.
Do we have to roll?
Yeah, you're definitely both gonna be rolling, going off the grounds.
Nice.
But first, let me set the stage. So yes, of course the storm has picked up. It's more wind than rain, but that just makes it hurt more when like these snaps of rain hit you. It's also cold, of course, so you're immediately drenched as you walk out. There's again, the gardener is not the best in the world. That's an understatement. So there's a lot of like open mud where there should be grass or something there. So yeah, you're just slogging through it with just no idea where the hell to go. So yeah, why don't you both roll? Let's see, go out on the grounds. I would normally in any other game I would say who is going to roll and who's helping, but this is not that game, so nobody's helping. Spoiler alert.
Well, hopefully my something extra will do something. All right.
Well, I got a +1 here, and that gives me an 8.
Excellent. See what Ruby gets. Oh wow. Oh, you're doing something more. So 9, right?
I think no, that's 10 because it's 9 plus. So I think I'm good. I don't have any.
Yes, far as 9, 10. Excellent. All right. So let's see. Let me see. What does Current get? I'm going to say that we haven't done trauma yet. So Current got definitely the short end of this stick, and also the short end of the one he trips over. One of the the roots from the tree sticking out, and Ruby is going at quite the clip. So yeah, as just trying to keep up and not fall behind. You don't want to have that on on your conscience, having left a fellow staff member out alone in the the darkness and the rain and everything. But during all that, yes, trying to keep up, you Current does trip over a root and sprains his ankle rather decently. So you'll take 1 level of trauma.
as I try to stride forward through the dark and the rain. It's very hard to see. And as suddenly my foot swings forward, strikes this root, and pitching me forward, crying, "Ah!" as I stumble forward.
What happened? What is the sound again?
Ah!
No Wilhelm scream. Come on,
Scott, you overestimate me.
Sorry about that. Please continue.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I stumble and grab onto the tree just enough to keep from falling and landing completely in the mud. But my foot gets caught on the root, twisted around before it finally snaps loose of the mud and the root swings around to where I end. I eventually pull myself up right on the tree and trying to put pressure on my foot, but it's a bit sensitive, and I'm a bit, very much relying on the one foot. Hopefully, Ms. Croft heard me yell out and stopped to wait for me.
Yes, I think I didn't hear him.
No, you can hear him or not as you like.
I think I heard you and came back.
You have a complete success, so you can pretty much do what you want at this point.
Good God, man! At this rate, we'll never. I'm not used to going very fast. I see. Well, that's okay. The floors in the manor are a little bit smoother than this, and it's probably been quite a few years since you've been outside. So, you ain't here.
Unlike you, I do not have proper footwear for traipsing about in the mud and dirt in the dark of night with the blowing rain.
You should probably fix that. It would be sensible, given how often it seems that the children want to come outside. But you wait here under this tree. I'm sure it will protect you from the rain and the lightning and not cause a problem at all. And I'll go find...
Boots on my salary?
We all have our priorities, Mr. Current. I prefer my feet, and I'll kind of stomp and slosh in the mud to be warm and safe.
I shall wait here, but keep my eyes open in case I see young Master Malachi. You can continue your search, yes.
Excellent. I appreciate the permission, Mr. Current.
All right. So we'll cut as Croft takes off. We'll cut back to the manor. Reynolds is still stuck with two more irritated than upset children at this point. That the staff still hasn't found him.
And I'm in the process of preparing tea and stoking a warm fire in the main hall for them on their return.
Oh, nice. I was about to say, if it's in the servants' hall, they would have given you utter crap for that, because that's servants' tea. That's not the good tea. They don't
of course, there's a platter with the fine teapot, and I think there's like 3 very nice teacups, and then there's just like a couple like thrown onto the platter for the for the returning staff.
Yeah. So yeah, they kind of sit there with
just
you. Yeah, exactly. They're like, well, we tried to tell Malachi that there were no lightning bugs at this time of year, or really any time of year. But he wouldn't listen. He went off. We tried to stop him. We did. You believe us, don't you, Reynolds?
Of course, young master and mistress. Would that be the term? Master and
young miss.
Young miss. Like, I'm sure he's just excited to be back to the great manor.
If you say so. They kind of take a sip of the tea, and it's like, well enough. They aren't quite to that stage in their development where they want to voice literally everything you do wrong in their eyes. They're going to grow into it, of course, but we're not there yet at all. But yeah, so they kind of like sit with you, and they're like,
Oh, I'm not sitting.
"Oh, well, they're sitting with you, present." Forgive me, and Alexander kind of looks over to you, and he's like, "How old are you, Mr. Reynolds?"
24, young master.
24. Are you happy with your station in life, Mr. Reynolds?
Of course, young master.
And Alexandria says, I told you so. No one who didn't want to be a butler, or no one who didn't want to be a housekeeper would be a housekeeper, right? And they're like, they kind of go back and forth. There's this little bickering between them off to the side where you can't even hear. And they're like, none of the other family members would wake. We knocked on doors, but none would come.
Well, that seems to be unusual. 'Cause I assume I've seen other family members up in the middle of night,
Before, not this evening, but yes, it's not uncommon by any stretch of the word. They have their own weird little cycles, etc. And they kind of come and go as they please, of course, and they expect you to kind of be awake in there to serve those needs, whatever they might be.
Like, I'm sure they just enjoyed the cook's fine meal and are sleeping it off.
What's the cook's name? We never hear their name. We know Reynolds and Current and Croft.
Dear me, I don't think I've met the current cook.
Not Current, the cook.
Like, I will send a note down in the morning and find out for you, young miss.
Very well, then. Thank you, Reynolds. And for the moment, we'll cut back to the outback. Croft, you're kind of going through the darkness. How are you lighting your way, if at all?
Well, I have my electric torch, and I'm using it to keep careful attention on the ground while also pausing every few moments to kind of sweep it around to see if I can see anything. Now that I'm out in the storm, I'm having sudden, vivid memories of the carefully laid line of strange little corpses that I found the other day.
Right, last time you were out here on the grounds.
Yes. So just kind of imagining coming across Master Malachi in a similar situation. And then
just head to the train station at that point and don't ever come back.
and imagining the gardener finding me. Right. So I'm just kind of looking around, but very grateful for my nice, warm, treated leather coat that keeps me from getting wet, too wet at least. So just sort of looking around, trying to stay mostly in places where I would expect a little kid to go in such weather.
Yeah, you definitely spy him after a time. It takes another 10 minutes or so. And you do see him kind of just standing out in the open. He's right now he's barefoot and wearing a nightshirt and a nightcap, and they're all just drenched. He's soaked to the bone.
Okay, well I'll run over and Master Malachi, and sort of grab his shoulders and kind of turn him around to face me.
He's like Miss Croft, isn't it?
Yes, Master Malachi, and I'll take off my coat and fling it around him.
The twins said that I would find fireflies out here. I found none. Well, is that a firefly? And he points, and are they fireflies? And you do see, as like on the edge of the woods, it's like you can kind of see in between them. You actually see fire torches under the canopy of the nearby woodland, and you'd have to you can get closer and inspect closer if you like, but at this distance you can make out people fully covered in black robes marching with torches along a small path just inside the forest line there of the grounds.
Yes, Master Malachi, those are fireflies, but they are very shy, and they will run away if we get any closer. So, if you want to be able to see them on a summer night, I think that we should go inside. Here, let me carry you.
Something drops out of his hand as you do so. It's a doll without any eyes. He's like, stop, and he kind of wrenches himself out of your grasp and takes the doll in hand and kind of places it facing the woodlands. Watch, Mimi. And then he kind of proffers it. Now you may pick him up.
Okay, I'll pick him up. Thank you, Mimi. And off we go.
So so you go back. Let's see. Wait for Jason to get back. But yeah, you'll eventually come upon Current as you're returning. Probably still kind of nursing that ankle. And as we're waiting for Jason to get back, I'll cut to Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the kids are just about to go to sleep. They're kind of tired. I mean, they've. It seems like the whole terror of the experience has pretty much worn off and been replaced by sleepfulness. It's almost like they've forgotten all about Damien and his misadventure into the woods, or whatever we're going to call it, whatever they'll try to call it. But yeah, they kind of go to bed on their own. They do have you come into each of their rooms to tuck them in. So this is a jaunt for you.
One end of the house to the other.
Yeah, one end of the house to the other. And I'll say this is probably when you kind of trip over that several of those bottles is kind of lying in the hallway. As you're kind of putting one back, it makes a noise, but again, nobody's stirring for one reason or another. Maybe they just need their sleep after a day of travel. Who can say?
Of course, I clean up the bottles.
The evidence. Yes. Excellent.
Well,
So yeah,
that would certainly be untoward if someone was to come across these.
Exactly. It's like you're the housekeeper. What are you doing if not cleaning up bottles that are discarded in the hallways? Empty bottles of laudanum, Excellent. I'm going to cut back once more to Current and Croft. So Croft, you have Damien in your arms, and you come upon Current under the tree. What do you guys do? What do you all do from there?
Come, Mr. Current. I am getting wet.
Well, that makes two of us then. Excellent. Okay, young master. All right. Well, let's proceed. And I am going to gingerly whip my way back to, the front door or wherever it is we went through.
I'm going to make sure to go first and not wait for Current, so that I am the one who brings Malachi back.
Oh, nice.
And clearly seeing that I am the one who brings him in, and I am the one who's drenched, and my coat is the one that he's wearing.
Excellent.
Yep. I can't even argue that. I will, but I can't.
Naturally, Mr. Current, you want the young master to get inside and warm as quickly as possible. I appreciate your sacrifice. I'm sure he does as well. Come, Master Malachi, let's go inside.
Right.
So yes, so it's pretty much by the time the two of you, first of course, Croft finds himself back in the servants' hall. But Reynolds finds his way back and fell not too far behind by current, just going through the pain of movement. And the three of you all meet with Malachi, now fast asleep in the arms of Ms. Croft.
Like, bring him closer to the fire. Maybe there'll be. Well, the tea is, I feel the side of the pot mostly warm, and I'll, pour each of you a cup.
Thank you, Reynolds. It is cold.
Current, you're now inside with the group.
We have Malachi still.
Yes, you have Malachi still, and Reynolds. Just for the note, to note, by virtue of all this, they both are tromping in quite a decent large bit of mud onto the floor.
I'm going to sit as close as I reasonably can to the fire and try to warm up and dry off a bit, and put my ankle up to rest.
Reynolds. That's when you see the swollen ankle the size of a croquet ball.
Like, you do well for your age, but I see you're no longer as spry. Be hard to keep that in a shoe tomorrow.
It should go away over the night. This isn't any worse than I got as a hooker.
You're trying to slip in Victorian slang and nobody is getting it for it.
No, not Victorian slang. Hooker is a position in rugby.
It is.
Sorry, I'm a rugby...
Rugby the sport?
That totally enhances the meaning of that. I appreciate your sharing the definition with the rest of us.
I did not get that at all, so thank you. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no, the hooker is the person in the scrum, like the lamp, who basically tries to hook the ball out. And
the little one? The little person?
Yeah. Sometimes.
I can... Miss Croft, a young master as well?
Yes. He misunderstood something that the twins said, and took it into his head to go investigate. I have mud all over my boots. Would you mind getting some warm clothes for him from his room?
I'll take him up. He should be put to bed at this hour.
Yes, and I should get warm.
I'll be back to, and I, sort of look down at the line to the door. Clean up when I return.
We're up in the hall, like the main hall, right?
I would say you kind of came back to the servants' hall.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought the fire was being stoked up top.
It was being stoked up.
Oh, okay. I thought I got the impression you're doing in the servants' area for like where you were originally meeting about. But if you meant the Great Hall, we'll call it the Great Hall. That's fine. That works also. Works excellently. So yes.
And I will take the young master Malachi up to his room.
Excellent. So I think it's not a secret as to prestige. In fact, you probably know that's something you all know about each other, what you're at. So what are your prestige levels at this time?
1.
2.
All right. So yes. So Reynolds, you're taking Malachi up to his room, and it's then that you kind of, as you turn a corner, you almost slam into Lord Malbane himself. He kind of looks at you. What are you up to, my good man?
Apologies, Lord Malbane. The young Malachi was out for an evening stroll.
And he was retrieved by the staff?
Yes, my lord.
Tell that current he does some good work. I like the cut of that man's jib.
Of course, my lord.
That's awesome.
Good man. With that, he kind of turns away. You don't know where the hell he was going or where he was coming from. There's really the place where you bump into him is really no place that he would be. Strange, or is it? So yes, Malachi goes to bed. He basically he's doing one of those things where he's like it's totally sleeping as you carry him and just like flops in as you put him in, tuck him in, etc., etc.
Are the dolls without eyes?
They are still all kind of in their original positions, as if not touched, but without eyes, as you surmised would be the case. And so as you kind of come back to the hall and meet the other two, things are now quieting down. And they even like you can even not quite hear the tick 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 of the tree fingers on your window downstairs in your own hall, or not downstairs but across the manor in your own hall. And things are calming down. You are able to actually rest if you choose. What do each of you do?
Well, I would like to clean the floor.
Damn.
Like what?
I'd like to clean the floor.
Interesting. All right. Well, if you do, that'll be
a shock upon my return.
That will be serving the house. You're successfully taking initiative, prove function as a house beyond your regular duties. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll plus fortitude.
Solid. That's not horrible. Okay.
Because that's normally the housekeeper's job. Let's see if you used up all your luck.
I'm going to rest.
Boom.
8. All right.
Nice.
Let's see here. So you can either roll with something extra for the remainder of the scene, of which there isn't any, or gain 1 prestige.
I will gain a prestige.
All right. Excellent. Anybody else doing anything in particular before nodding off with a good book or Penny Dreadful or whatever?
No, just going to take what care of this leg I can. Perhaps take some aspirin and, and tape it up like I did back in the rugby days.
You have access to the wine cabinet, just saying.
Mm-hmm. And I know which particular wines Mr. Malbane doesn't seem to like anymore.
No one will care if those are low. This is the wrong game for me to be tempting you with that. I'm sorry. It's a different system, I'm sure.
Can I be? I'd like to come tap on the door of the parlor or whatever it is, the pantry.
Yeah.
Mr. Current?
Yes.
As we both know, it's rather horrendous outside, and I would love to make up a bed downstairs, if you don't mind, instead of having to tromp all the way over to the garage. He's in charge of the downstairs, right? That's technically the butler's thing.
Reynolds is.
Yeah.
I think actually that's Reynolds' position.
Oh, okay.
Upstairs butler, downstairs Reynolds, housekeeper rather.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well then, sorry, not current. Although no, we'll do it with current because I'm new. I wouldn't know. We'll do it with current anyway.
Excellent.
And then, yes, I suppose that action would be understandable given the dreadful weather we're having tonight. Yes, absolutely, you may do so. And I'll just direct them to the servants' linen closet. Like you can certainly find something to make up a pile for yourself in there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Yeah. So you actually get sleep. I know it sounds just completely crazy in Malbane Manor, but sleep comes your way. You dream of interesting things, dark things, dolls without eyes, You dream of, people in black robes and cloaks and torches walking to nowhere. You dream of skies opening up and all the hell of water coming out, etc., etc. And there we are. So let's see. So again, don't want to deal with minutia. However, let's take a slightly early break if you guys are okay. That'll be a nice dividing point to the next day or whenever. If that's okay with you guys?
Yeah,
Works for me.
Yeah. Again, this is rather early, but I figured this is just a good
only a few minutes, but
transition.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I will talk to you all in about 10.
Okay.
Cool.
I know.
And we have returned. Here we are. So yes, and the dawn of a new day. This time what the day brings is generally the adults, and by adults in this society I mean the men, because the men basically want to discuss business, family money, that kind of thing. So they're going to be spending a greater portion of their day in the smoking room, I think. The smoking room is, of course, where you have your cigars, where the men retreat to, generally speaking. Brandy snifters, brandy warmers, etc. And it always has this haze of smoke that has the bitter scent of gunpowder in it for some strange reason. We don't know why. We don't question why. Meanwhile, the ladies are basically looking for some kind of just respite. So they start like kind of doing their own things. They're doing needlepoint and that kind of stuff. Things ladies of station do. And of course sharing gossip of like people in town that none of you except Croft have ever encountered, and the people in town won't talk to Croft because she's the weird lady. How the Malbanes have ever had a great deal of contact and like get any information on them is equally a mystery. But yes, have gossip will travel. And this house is of course no different. So what they've done is they've lacking any nannies, they've sent the children to do some hide and go seek, to be supervised, of course, by the staff.
Of course.
Of course.
Solid.
So yes, the now the interesting thing is the kids are like, well, they're like, as the three of you are there, they're kind of like, it's like choosing that team in grade school. It's like I choose first, and then you choose next, and then whoever gets is last gets the last, etc., etc. So let's see here. So yes, so you have the twins are going to stay together. You have Adam, and you also have Malachi. So the twins choose first, and they choose Current.
Oh, very good.
Like, I hope you know how to hide. I hope you're silent. You do know how to be silent, don't you, Current?
But of course, the better to serve you. It would not do for me to intrude upon anybody's activities.
So yes, so they kind of come over to you, and they also one of the kids, Alexandria, grasps your hand. Ms. Croft is chosen by Adam.
Cool.
Adam kind of goes over and stands, at a firm attention. Kind of looks up at you, gives you that British, the nod.
I nod back.
And Malachi, of course, goes to Mr. Reynolds. And yes, so Malachi he kind of beams up at Reynolds. He's like, "Thank you for putting me to bed."
Of course, young master. Now,
So-
out of character, is this like a team thing that we're sort of like also hiding with them somewhere?
Yes, you
Okay.
need to be hiding or seeking with them, because yes, it would someone has to guide the children's behavior.
Because otherwise, it'd be
certainly
really
it's not.
easy to, hide a 3-year-old somewhere.
Yeah, it's not the parents that'll be watching. Yes. So yes. So who they kind of look to you. So who will be the seeker?
I think we can be the seeker, Master Adam. We've had the most. You've had the best chance of the children to get acquainted with the house, which should give you an advantage.
It's like strategy. I like it, Croft. He kind of turns back to the others. You stand no chance. And with that, he kind of goes, Shall we begin? Turns around, covers his eyes. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
No peeking,
silently-
Croft. 4.
Silently motion to the children and point a direction, and off we will go. I'll be silent at least. I don't know about the twins, but I'm doing my best.
Besides the occasional wincing and kapunk kapunk of your trying to favor your
your ankle is still the size of a small, ball. Funny. So where are you going to allow yourselves to be guided by the children, or are you going to guide them?
That's a good question. Where could we hide?
Is this assumed to be, all kept upstairs, quote unquote?
No, it can be anywhere in the entire house.
Okay.
I will assume then, with no answer, that the children will guide you.
I generally want to see where Malachi would want to hide.
So yes, so Malachi kind of takes you and does that thing, the tippy toes stealth that kids do, but adults do. I do it, and kind of guides you around, and you're kind of going room to room, and then you're in like actually the same room that you saw Ms. Croft and Damien come out of, the powder room. He's like, I think they won't find us here, but let's be sure. And he kind of steps back over to like one of like the where like the what do they call it? It's not a dresser, it's a vanity. A vanity there. And you see him like go, his fingers run along the top lip of it, and you hear a click. And then this one of these wood panels behind turns inward, and you see a dark hallway beyond.
Excellent choice, young master.
He's like, "Follow me." The rules state we can't stay in these for very long. That would be cheating, but we can certainly move around a bit.
So as you go in and I'm closing the door, you see a somewhat worried look, but
Excellent. So you're kind of cruising through there, and you come to this spot where there is there's not much light. There's like light from like the little crooks in the where the wall boards come together, how they used to do the wall slats and then put the put the plaster over them to make walls. Every now and then there's like a little gap, and that's where your light comes from. And then you see, strangely enough, as you kind of cruise through them, like still silently as a little mouse, and you see two, like, it looks like nails hanging out of the wall. And Malachi goes like, here, it's like, let's see what they're doing. Unplug those and take a look. So yeah, you unplug them, and
maybe I assume he wants me to lift it up to, see.
No, he's like, take a look. What's out there? Where are they?
I look out. What am I viewing?
So you see, it's like you're okay. Take it out. Look in the plugs, and it goes from like black, nothing. Take out the plugs to. It's like someone's in another bathroom, vomiting seriously into the basin, and they bring their head up, and that would be Delilah. Her hair is all askew. She's just kind of trying to keep it together, but you can see she's like heaving it, and it's just not staying down. She had scones today, by the way, as you see. And Malachi's like, what do you see?
I put the plugs back. Like, they're not there.
Ah, well, that's good. Let's keep on going. We'll be out in another room in a second. Meanwhile, let's see here. Let's see. Current. The kids they've taken you to the kitchen of all places, and they're looking around for places to hide. They're like, and Alexandrina goes, I know where they'll never look. And she points to the dumbwaiter, and she starts moving towards it.
Young miss, I do not think that particular hiding space is very advised, given the fact that anybody can tell that a person of your stature would be able to fit in there easily. That really is the first place they would look.
All right, guide a family member, guide their direction. She's gonna go. I do what I want.
Well,
roll persuasion.
Plus 11.
Nice. All right, they follow your lead. Gain 1 prestige.
And so instead, I'm going to direct them to hide in some of the cupboards that have some of the dishes in them. We'll quickly move a few things aside, and then they can climb in there to hide, and put some like pots and pans in front of them in that. And as for myself, well, I mean, the pantry is right off the kitchen. I might as well just, go in there. Nobody will look for me in there.
One would think, right?
Besides, the door will be locked.
Because that's cheating in hide and seek. Cheating, I say.
It's only cheating if they can find me.
You have to confirm cheating before it's actually cheating, I see. The logic is sound. Excellent.
Yeah, right. If they don't find, it's only cheating if you get caught.
And then, as you like, the last thing that Alexandrina says before you kind of push the pots and stuff in front of her is like, I just really want to meet the cook.
Oh, well, perhaps, I mean, here with the cookware, perhaps the cook will need some of that, and you will get to meet them. And if not, well then, we can at least show the other children that you are obviously a far greater intellect.
And she kind of points at you, well thought out.
I couldn't have done it without you and your brilliance.
I couldn't have done without you and your brilliance. Nice. All right. That's the 11 here. You actually made it sound like it was their idea, and you're a genius for it all. So yes, good job. All right, that leaves us with Croft and Adam. Are you going to look for, where are you going to hide first, I suppose is the question.
We're looking. We're seeking.
You're seeking, I'm sorry, yes.
Okay.
And
Well-
actually, Adam's good. Before you can actually asks you for a suggestion, and then he stops you. Oh, no, I know. Let's go to Current's room.
Okay, let's do it.
And you guys get in there. Yeah, there's no locks. The servants don't get locks. What does Current's room look like again? Remind us.
It's fairly spare, like most of the servants' quarters. Basic cot. They have like a small desk. Technically, it's more of like just a writing table with a basic chair. Wardrobe in the corner. A few sacks of flour at the foot of their immaculately made bed. But that's really about all there is to see in there.
So Adam goes in and he looks under the bed. What's under the bed again?
Under the bed. Oh well, that's where I keep several of my books.
Oh, he's definitely getting those. So yes, he looks under the bed, and at first, Croft, it looks like he's searching for people, but it's like, well, if you didn't find anybody on there, you would go to the next place. You would think, right? He actually takes the books up, and he's like, interesting. What are the books about?
Oh, they are definitely like Penny Dreadful, sort of pulp, pulp, like action adventures and romances. It's definitely something well below my station that I should be, reading, and it's slightly scandalous.
Yeah. So Adam will start reading through all that, and he's like, Croft, look through his clothes.
Great idea. I'm sure someone would hide there.
Check the pockets. Don't want to miss anything. Clues, woman.
I'll go through the pockets and clues to what, Master Adam?
He's just Current. I want to know everything about him. I want to know all his secrets. I want to know everything no one else knows. I want to know it all. Is that a problem, Ms. Croft?
Of course not. I'm just dumbstruck by your ambition.
Don't be. I'm a Malbane.
Of course. I should not have been surprised. And I also have been surprised that that's the extent of what Mr. Current can read. And I'll kind of giggle a little bit.
Excellent. So you guys will spend some time going through stuff. It's like, yeah, it's not even under the pretense of hide and seek anymore. It was like hide and seek was the excuse to do this. Meanwhile, everyone else is hiding very successfully, it seems. No one has found anyone yet.
I think at this point I'm probably like, how long do these passages go on for?
We're out right here. And he kind of, it's really actually not a terribly long passage. It's just because it's generally so dark, it's hard to.
Yeah, we're just feeling our way.
Yeah, you're feeling your way for the most part. and you come out, and it's I'll say it's like one of the guest rooms that isn't being used is where you come out. And it's just a pretty nondescript place. Well, I won't say nondescript. It's a guest room, so any guest that would be staying here would be pretty highfalutin, as the saying goes, in a totally different country and an era from this. But and so there's like artwork on the walls, oil paintings type of things. The bed is a 4-poster with a canopy, deep mahogany or something like that, lacquered wood everywhere. And you come out, the door you come out is very similar in construction to the one you went in, which basically it looks like you have that kind of that wall paneling where you have like the kind of door sized frame.
Yeah.
And then, so like the wood behind that is what opens up.
And I imagine all of these ceilings are, 10-foot tall, whatever, grand ceilings.
Exactly. And, but it's just like, and Malachi is just kind of like tootling around like this is no big deal. Seems like maybe he does this all the time when he's bored. But yeah, he kind of toodles around. He's like, okay, so we're far enough away where we can probably hide. I don't think they'll find us. What do you think, Reynolds?
An astute observation.
Very well. So what was in the powder room? I heard something horrid.
Through the window or through the eyes?
The eyes.
There was.
He kind of says eyes disdainfully, reminiscent of the dolls. You can just imagine a doll with eyes being poked out.
I believe the Lady Malbane wasn't feeling well.
It seems to be happening a bit lately. Mother is not at her best, it would seem.
Malachi's mother not here. Unless he refers to her as mother.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Well, all the kids, I'm getting distracted as to who is which. I apologize. Yes, Malachi's mother is not around. So yes, he'll actually call her Delilah. Very, very not proper in every possible way. I apologize. I'm missing. I have to get to know my Malbanes. Getting to know the Malbanes, isn't that like a TV show somewhere?
It certainly sounds like one.
If you like, if you want the most comfortable hiding spot, I can make you under the bed covers, and they'll never see you.
That's a perfect plan.
You can even have the opportunity to take a nap while you're here, if you like.
Oh, have you done this before, Reynolds?
I was young once.
And you kind of get that look in your face, like it's like all kids don't understand the concept that adults were once not adults, and he is certainly in that stage. Excellent, Reynolds. Let's do that. And he flops himself up on the bed and does the stiff as a board stance, waiting for you to roll him up like a little cocoon.
I'll tuck him in as like under the pillows or something.
Not too tight. I'd hate to suffocate.
Of course not. I make a show of fluffing the pillow and everything, and then I'm going to duck back into the secret passageway.
Oh, nice. We'll hold you there for a second. I'm actually going to jump quickly to Miss Croft. Okay. So Miss Croft, you've looked through the clothing. You've looked through the what do you call it? The pockets, and there's nothing to be found. Current keeps a pretty tidy room. But Adam is he's not satisfied. He finds like a letter opener, and he actually like takes it to like the pillow and he rips it open. I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna have you roll to ignore the strange at this point. So roll plus composure.
Okay. That's composure.
All right. Do you have any pluses to that? Oh, it already is with the plus. I see.
That includes my plus.
That
Yes.
includes your plus. So yes.
I did not do well with my composure.
So yeah, you kind of you watch as Adam first goes through the pillow and rips it open with the letter opener, and then looks under the mattress and actually flings it up, so it's over-ended, and he has this look in his eyes, this look like it's just he's in another world of excitement and euphoria. He's like, I'm going to know everything about Current. I'm going to know it all. I'm going to know his secrets.
Master Adam. Um, the, there is a saying that I heard that subtlety is the first course in the meal of secrets, and if you show your cards too soon, then Mr. Current will get suspicious, and then you wouldn't be able to find out more secrets.
So I'm going to say part of your failure is that I'm not going to let you direct the family yet. He's actually he hears this kind of tone from you, and he turns around and he finds, like, a little some kind of foldable penknife or something, and tosses it to you. He's like, well, don't just stand there. They'll expect us to seek them soon.
We should only be fast.
Yes, exactly. We should be fast. Open up that side of the cushion. Quickly, Ben.
Of the
Look,
mattress?
Yes. Now.
Mm.
Now. And he's like, it's almost a frenzied pace. He's like, now he's opening the books and flittering them, and when nothing comes out of them, like some secret note or something, he rips the pages out and throws it down. It's like, we need to find secrets. How else will I get my chocolates? And we'll cut there for the moment.
Wait. Can I do my outsider's? Can I do my outsider's perspective?
What is it? I can't remember what that
want
move
to
is.
stop a moment to reflect on the situation and plus composure. On a full success, you will provide a true and clear answer, and on a partial success, you'll provide a true but cryptic answer.
Let's take a look. Actually, since we're back in kind of teaching mode, so let's bring it back, and let's go over to your sheet, and let's take a look at that. Alrighty. So let's see, where are we? Oh, here we go. Outsider's perspective. Okay. All right. So yeah, when you stop a moment to reflect on the situation, roll plus composure. The master will find clear answer, partial success. All right. Yeah, go ahead and roll plus composure.
Yes.
This is definitely a concerning situation.
It's definitely. All right. So what is? I suppose that it's kind of ambiguous. What is it asking for? What are you? Do you have a question?
I mean, I was kind of wanting to know what Adam wanted out of Current, and specifically, like, what on earth does he mean about chocolates?
So let's see. So that is a partial success. So the answer to your question is that he wants chocolates. That is a cryptic answer, I grant you, but it is yet true.
All right. Well, I will take the penknife to the other end of the.
Nice. All right, so we'll cut from there with goose down everywhere, and cut over to Mr. Current. And Current, here, there's like a knock, knock at the door that you're under, through which you're locked in.
All right. I will attempt to peer through the keyhole, see if I can figure out who's knocking.
It's Alexandrina.
If I am certain it's her, I will open the door.
It's like I think we hid too well. This isn't very fun.
Oh, this isn't actually all that much fun.
And that's when you hear like this ching 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 ching, this ruckus from the cupboard, and that's where Alexander comes out of. He kind of opens the door and sticks his head out. He's like, "It's more fun when it's scary. Like they might catch you. This is boring. I'm bored. We're bored."
Well, then we must go. Well, then let's have fun with them. Perhaps, maybe we could seek the seeker. Perhaps we can quietly traverse the house, try and figure out what they are, and then follow them at a distance, always staying behind them so that they can never actually find us.
Or we could ambush them.
Ambush them? Well, then they would find you.
Well, we'll become the seekers, in essence, wouldn't we?
And how are you going to ambush them?
Find where they are and scare the bejesus from them.
Oh, I know exactly what to do then. I'm going to lead them to the main hall, or no, the smoking room.
Ooh, that's where the men are right now.
Oh, they are there, in which case I won't go there, no. But I'm trying to remember all the places in the house now.
It's all right. What kind of place are you looking for? Perhaps I can guide you.
Pretty much, I am certain we, in addition to all of the weird trophies and that, there are probably a couple of masks that have been obtained from other cultures with questionable provenance. But if perhaps
that was good.
Perhaps the children were to don these masks and then sneak around the house. When they jump out to surprise these poor folks, these masks will startle them in their feet.
Well done, Current. And they kind of pick. We'll say, yeah, they're over there. We'll add that to the room. Actually, this is the great hall you're looking in, right? With all the antlered heads that don't get antlers in real life.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, they can have some of the lighter ones that are like wood or wicker.
Well, you'll need one too, Current.
I absolutely will not let the children wear any stone masks.
Excellent.
So there are masks in the drawing room now?
In the Great Hall, right? Is that the Great Hall or the drawing room?
The drawing room is the one that has the antlered head.
Okay, yeah, that's the drawing room, yes. I'll add that to my World Anvil. World Anvil. Not sponsored by World Anvil, also, just as a disclaimer there. But yes. So they're like, yes, Current, you need one too.
Alrighty.
You're not quite horrid enough.
Oh no, I cannot be nearly as terrifying as you must be. That would be improper.
Ooh, backhanded compliment. Nice. Yes. So yeah,
I am but your humble servant.
All right. Before we cut from Current, what does Current's mask look like?
Hmm. a kitsune mask from Japan.
Ooh, nice. A fox.
It's very kind of fox-like.
Foxy. Excellent. Cool. Yeah, they approve. Definitely. Meanwhile, Reynolds, what are you doing now going back through the passageway that you've discovered along with the young master?
Well, first I was going to just hide in it because I think that's a great hiding spot.
All right.
But also, did it have any like forks or anything that on the way that we did not go through?
No, this is just a very point A to point B with a little peekaboo in the middle there.
Well, then I will just hide in here and wait because to me that's less obvious than a cupboard or a under the bed.
Sure. Yeah, I mean you're in the perfect spot actually.
But I also don't want to leave like Malachi to get completely lost. If he like decides he's bored too.
Right. So you kind of get in there a bit, down the passage, and you continue to hear the retching. It's horrible. Just as an auto character note, I'm a sympathetic vomiter. If I see it, I do it. So I'm not going to do any more vomit, imitations or what else. I trick myself and throw up in front of you. That would be truly scarring for all of us.
Truly scarring, yeah.
But yes, you'll continue to hear the retching. Do you do anything about that? Or do you observe? Do you sit in here and just endure it? Plug your ears against it?
I think for now I endure it.
Gotcha.
Do I need to ignore the strange of the constant vomiting?
Yes, we can ignore the strange.
See if I endure it, shall I say.
Yes. Let's see here. Ignore the strange.
Luckily, I'm a very composed person.
That's what you think. Oop,
I hope.
There we go. We'll find out in a second. Oh, a 12, you do. The events have no effect on your person. You continue forward as planned. May question about the situation as it is unfolding.
I think the appropriate comment, at least for now, will be if nothing is done. If nothing is done, will she require medical assistance?
Oh, interesting. Yes. Though, to be sure, you would have to try to confirm suspicions, which I think you're ready to trigger.
I am.
All right. Go ahead and confirm suspicions.
So do I have to, encounter her?
This is not. No, I'm. This is more. I know it says. So we have reason to believe you know someone's secret or trouble. Roll plus persuasion, 10 plus. The other person confirms the suspicion is true. I'm going to make that not like it. It's not doesn't require an actual confrontation. It's more of a you're putting the clues together, and yeah,
given her illness and medical regime that she's been very insistent upon. Of which I got some, maybe alternative cosmetics for her. Do I think this is worsening signs of lead poisoning?
That's a good question. Go ahead and roll. Ooh, a 9. All right. The secret is confirmed as true or false. The other person may choose one of the following. Let's see. So yes, we're going to confirm. This is our very first trouble confirmed. And again, kind of the way that I'm envisioning this. Again, there are so many troubles, and this is not something any of us need to like keep track of. Who knows this? Who knows that? So for troubles, at least, when a trouble is discovered, when someone actually completes the move for this. The trouble is now out on the table. So for all to see, it's just a general thing. I'll put it in Word Anvil. I'll take it out of the secret section, put it into the actual section. Right now, these are behind the scenes, so only Twitch subscribers can see the secrets presently. Boom. But yes, I'll read the trouble to you, and then we'll get into ramifications of your move. So the trouble with Delilah. Let's see. So Delilah, requiring her complexion be a perfect peaches and cream, has taken to using an old family recipe to do so, a luxurious, smooth cream that keeps her skin as white as can be. The cream is Venetian ceruse, a mixture of water, vinegar, and lead. She is slowly going mad due to lead poisoning, and so the normal for her is she's short-tempered, now that you notice, through a Malbane family member. Level 1, abdominal pain. So again, troubles increase. They don't necessarily need a trigger of like a failure from you guys to do it, but they, according to the way the rules go, it's like they increase as an episode goes on. And as a note, that doesn't like increase everyone's trouble. So you have like literally a dozen people with trouble level 3 by the end of the thing. That you'll notice I'm perhaps focusing on a select few at a time to keep things, not overwhelming and still interesting, because that would be terrifying. I think all of you would just basically do the 1915 equivalent of a resume party and get the freaking heck out of Dodge immediately, regardless.
I think you would see the backs of 3 people wandering down the road.
They finally found something to be friendly over. So her level 1 is abdominal pain. She'll generally leave before dinner. Is through and to attend to herself in the upstairs bathroom. Level 2, headaches. Her temperament becomes even more volatile. And level 3 is memory loss. But it's all the basically throwing up, memory loss, headaches. And I have yet to get kind of like a result. The result is likely once she hits her level 3, she'll need to spend days recovering. And strangely, it's like she doesn't have to keep herself up for those days, so she's not using the cream. And strangely gets better over the few days, kind of sort of. Even though in reality, lead poisoning is a cumulative effect.
Rules wise, there's ways to deal with the troubles, correct? And ways to lessen them?
Yes. So let's go here. So that's where guide the direction type stuff comes in, where you can kind of guide them to stop doing what they're doing or whatever to keep them away from their troubles, or tone down their troubles, or control or contain their troubles. And that kind of thing. I'll have to look at more. I think there's another way to do it, but that's the main one, is basically guiding the direction, or just freaking ignoring the strange and just living through it as best you can, or better yet, send someone else to deal with the strange, by directing the staff, that kind of thing. So yeah, there are ways to deal with it. What was the last part there, Steve?
On page 45, if I think you basically summed it up, which is, you wait it out, you calm them down, or you get out of the way.
Right. And all those are bonus trophy moves.
Or someone else into their way.
Exactly. We wouldn't do that, though, so let's kind of work that one out. We're good to go. All right, so that'll go from secret to on the table as far as the World Anvil thing is concerned, and that will now be a known thing. So, and as a note, anything that I do put on World Anvil in like the normal content section is common knowledge to each of you as well. So feel free to peruse all that, etc., because you know it. And again, that's why the trouble will now move to the not secret portion of the show. But I will do that later. So good job. You've done our first trouble or secret exposure. So good job.
And that earns me 0 points.
It does. But now you know that it's a trouble, or what to expect and how to deal with it at lower levels. So in theory, it doesn't get to the higher levels. One hopes.
One hopes.
Yes. Excellent. So that brings us to the inevitable encounter that we've all been waiting for. So, in an effort for Current and the twins to be the seekers and surprise the original seeker, they go from room to room, searching. And they just happen to find their way into the area of the servants' quarters. You guessed it. So they can hear sounds coming from Current's room, his own room there. And they're like, the twins like, it's your room. You jump out them first and say boo.
Right then. I guess I have no real choice but to do that.
All right.
This is going to go so very well.
All right. So you jump out. What is it that you do? You have your mask, your kitsune mask on. You're desperately trying to get this game over with, I'm assuming. Describe your leap of terror.
Yeah, I'm looking at the moves. I don't really know what would be appropriate, but
It doesn't really trigger one, actually. I mean,
yeah. But essentially, fling the door open, leap in, and let out a blood-curdling scream.
Yep. So Croft, you're in the middle of tearing open the bottom of his what again, English is failing me. Mattress. Thank you. You're like literally ripping into the mattress. There's goose down everywhere. There's what do you call it? Adam is ripping into the very last book, not having found anything, and there's pages just flittering everywhere. The air supporting that and guiding it to the ground. That's what you see, Current.
And that's what I see.
Good. What was that again? That's a good.
Really, Scott?
No, not really. All right. Describe the scene. You
My
two.
roommates love me.
Well, I scream as this large shape bursts through all the down pages in the air, shrieking, and do, of course, the only natural thing to do, and stab it with the penknife. I would like... Is this an appropriate spot to use my cruel move, a physical altercation?
Oh my! It could be.
Oh.
What do you do? We know what you do. Are you going to do your cool move? Are you actually going to do it?
Yes, I think I will. Because I get to use it once per session, right?
I wouldn't put it that way. You can use it up to once per session. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm already on edge. Because
nice.
of this whole weird thing with Adam. I don't want to be in this situation. I wanted to go look at the dumbwaiter, and instead here I am ripping open Mr. Current's thing, and suddenly here's a monster. Probably one of the things with the torches, probably the thing that's been killing things, and so I must defend Master Adam.
Oh my goodness! And what? Remind me again what the name of the cruel move is?
It's called a physical altercation.
There we are. Want to find it quick?
That's going to be so much fun.
All right, so you have the option of choosing one member of the household staff and beating the tar out of them, causing 3 trauma. Oh my!
And I'm not doing it secretly.
Yeah, it's definitely not a secret. That much is true. All right, Current, you've just been.
This might be the last we see of Croft.
You just been stabbed with a penknife, or Current.
3 more trauma on top of my existing 1 trauma.
Yes, exactly.
Seriously? So,
I was looking it up. How much trauma can a person take?
5.
at 5, the character is forcibly removed from play by any of various means. Although there might be a way to like last chance them, but they're pretty fucked up.
Well, now you're at 4 trauma. You've just been stabbed. Where have you been stabbed, Current?
So it is just a penknife. So ultimately, the wound itself is fairly minor. But I expect that since you come at me with the knife, I throw my hands and I'm like, wait, what? As the blade of the knife plunges through one of my hands,
He's down a hand and a foot.
throwing me completely off balance. So I spin around, fall down, and my already battered ankle, that leg swings into the chair, smashing against my poor ankle and knocking the chair around as the rest of me just thuds on the hard floor.
Whew. Good times. So yes, the mask gets knocked off your form, and like crackles, kind of not crackles, tumbles into like the hallway where the other two could jump around the corner to see the aftermath of all this, and the twins simultaneously go, "We found you! We win!"
I dropped the knife. Oh my god, Current! Not again!
Not again. He's like the Beaker of the group so far. If you watched the Muppets back in the day. Well, yes. So let's cut this scene and go to again, kind of full circle back to the servants' hall. What is the scene? So Current is obviously looking, burning holes into Croft's skin with his mere gaze. What's the scene there?
Oh, is this like the evening now?
Yeah, now we jump forward to the evening where like the day is thankfully done. Your services are done. You're basically with each other, and it's probably a very uncomfortable situation. But describe that situation, because we want to feel your discomfort. Because that's part of this game.
Are you going to be taking anything for your injuries, Mr. Current?
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Current has been taking something for their injuries. This is a bit extensive and ridiculous. At this point, probably rustled up some laudanum or opium to try and dull the rather extreme pain.
Was it his writing hand too?
You know what? We're gonna let roll 20 decide that.
Yeah, are we? Oh wow.
Is it my even right hand or my odd left hand?
It
was
your
my
right
even
hand.
right hand. Uh-huh. So it's a minor wound, fortunately. So it's only a penknife and just kind of through the hand. But blood profusely, I've got that taped and bandaged up. I have I'm sure that there is at least a minor supply of assorted medical implements, whatever, around somewhere in the house, and I've gotten somebody to bring me a crutch. Because I would have a lot of trouble getting around on this foot now. Don't know why. Yeah, this brings a whole new meaning to the idea of looking daggers at someone.
I am studiously not looking at.
If you don't look, it
I
doesn't
hope
exist.
not.
Yeah, I am very intently looking at my book, not reading it, and rather anxiously puffing on my smoke, and just kind of. I don't know what's gotten into that Master Adam. He seemed quite insistent on looking in Mr. Current's room extremely thoroughly.
I don't know what got into you. Do you really hate being in service to the Malbanes, such that you feel the need to attempt bloody murder on me?
It was not an attempt. It was not an attempt, Mr. Current. I'd like to
Yes,
say...
it was! Look at this! I'm not saying this! You had your knife and you stabbed me with it!
Yes, you were a monster and you screamed at me.
There's a certain
You
logic.
were afraid of a person in a mask who is otherwise dressed exactly like a butler, and you can't handle a little mask without trying to commit murder. Perhaps I should be ringing up the constable right now.
Mr. Current, all you've been saying this whole time is about how there is some sort of strange thing downstairs that makes our food that we shouldn't go down to, who somehow staff. What am I supposed to expect? There were strange beings out in the woods who were probably part of the staff. I expect the gardener's suite or something. And Adam was losing his mind, flipping mattresses, and there were things killed out in the grounds, and
was my bedroom out on the grounds?
Your bedroom was not out on the grounds. I will grant you that.
And why did you think I was a wild beast out on the ground such that you tried to murder me?
Because you made a sound rather like...
Obviously, that's a sound that a human makes, given that I am one!
Well, I've only ever heard that sound in one context, and it was not a context in which you would expect it to be a human.
Are you attempting to blame me for your lack of education?
Yes, you are the man.
I'm sipping my tea still, and I think I actually pipe up. I'm like, I didn't hear a thing where I put young Master Malachi down for a nap.
Oh my god! He just originated the sipping the tea meme. Oh my god! Oh my god! Awesome. Please do continue.
It's not like that's very helpful to say, Reynolds.
Well, Mr. Current, I expect that your hand will heal quickly so that you can carry on your as well.
I would think that while my hand is healing, at a bare minimum, Miss Croft here can be taking on my duties in addition to her own.
Oh, I don't think that I'll be able to do that. After all, I have to go into town and fetch eyes, painkillers, and many other things that the family and the staff require.
Oh my god. Kurt is stunned into silence for but a moment. It's at this time that the door opens from the upstairs area, and in comes Adam himself, the young lad. And he kind of looks around. This is probably the first time he's been here. It's like, again, most of the family doesn't deign to come into the staff areas, the downstairs, much if they can avoid it. No reason to. And Adam comes in and kind of looks around, gets his bearings, kind of quietly marches up to the trio of you, and kind of he's doing that very, high etiquette stance. And Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Current, Ms. Croft.
Young master.
Master Adam. I'm not making eye contact with him.
No, you aren't. So yeah, he's like, if you would indulge me, I would prefer a moment alone with Mr. Current, if you don't mind.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, I shan't be long.
I bolt from the room, essentially.
And I will follow Miss Croft.
So yeah, he kind of waits till the others are gone and looks around, make sure you're not going to be disturbed or anything like that. And he looks to you, Mr. Current. About the activities in your room earlier today.
What do you want, you little hellion?
He takes a step towards Current, and he puts a hand on his shoulder and leans in. If you don't give me chocolates, I will tell my parents that you pulled a blade on me and threatened me with it. You give me chocolates or tell me a secret. And the eyes are cold.
Do I look like I have chocolates?
He takes a finger very pointedly and pokes your belly. Yes, sir, I believe you do. And now you can either I'll let you trigger either. You can either guide his direction or ignore the strange at this point. Or you can just give in to his demands. What do you do? Tell me you stabbed the boy. Tell me. Say the words.
You know what? I am going to guide.
Ooh.
I am going to go with guide his direction, of which I have a +2 in persuasion.
Oh, nice.
And it's not that I have any chocolates on me. All of those are kept by the cook. The only way
Holy shit.
to reach the cook is to go through the dumbwaiter in which the cook sends up the meal. You were just to go down in there. As you know, the cook also prepares all the desserts, including that lovely chocolate mousse pie the other month.
Me.
They have quite a supply of cocoa down there. I do not. All I am trusted with is the wine. But if you're looking for a great supply of chocolate, that would be where it is. Obviously, I don't have it, and with my hand like this, I couldn't give it to you if I wanted.
All right, make your roll.
Oh man,
It's an 8.
An 8. Oh god. All right. Let's see. So an 8 gets us. They consider your suggestion, but will follow under certain conditions as selected by the master of the house. I will say I'm going to choose the you lose a prestige thing here. He's probably already pre-complained to his family about you. So subtract 1 prestige. He'll say, I'll soon have all the chocolates I would desire. No thanks to you. He kind of clips his heels together and turns about, leaves the room. So okay, so yeah, do the other 2 come back in, or are we cutting that scene there?
Where was Miss Croft going?
Where was I going? I just did not want to be near either of those 2. So probably just out and halfway down the hall, so that I could hear if they were if they were done talking.
Mm. I think the talk was generally too quiet to hear it until the very end, where you hear
Okay.
Current make some comments. There's and it would shock both of you as to like their intensity of the voice. It's like, oh my god, this is the decibel level you're allowed to talk to the Malbanes with, and he was like here. So
Like, so the important question, Miss Croft. Did you find anything? Like real conspiratorial.
That's awesome.
Certainly haven't dared, go into anyone's room, but I've always wondered what secrets he may keep.
Anything that we found would be with Master Adam right now.
And then with that, you hear the ominous dinging of the grandfather clock in the background. Dong, 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 dong.
I was gonna say, what time is it dinging?
Yeah, it's dinging about. I would say it's almost the witching hour of midnight. And is it the house settling, or is the chef sending something up from the dumbwaiter? It's hard to say. It's the squeaking of the pulleys is very distinct sound that tends to echo when it's quiet. And with that, unless you have anything else, we'll close that session. But please do go ahead, Ms. Croft.
I'll just ask Reynolds. Are we supposed to be serving midnight aperitif or something?
Not unless it's a full moon.
Is it a full moon?
It's not yet a full moon. It's close.
No, it's still, 5 days hence.
Okay, well, I guess breakfast came up early. Maybe it's supposed to be chilled.
There's the entire house seems to moan for a second. Goes through the whole place, reverberating. It has that reverberation that you feel in your chest behind your eyeballs, and that's when the scene fades to black.
Wow, you pulled out the knife and went for the jugular.
Y'all keep saying that, but if I had wanted him dead, then he was dead, right?
All right, good session, Keeps. Good job.
Well, that was less than pleasant.
Welcome to Bedlam Hall. Oh my. Oh goodness gracious. So yes, I'm I'm still trying to kind of find my way around this game, how to do it best. But I think as I was kind of noting before, focusing on several members at a time, troubles here and there as they escalate throughout a session. But I think it's best to focus on several at the same time, one or several, and kind of go from there. So as not to overwhelm you with troubles, but not be underwhelming either, and kind of give you all something to do and deal with, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the angle I'm going for, especially now that we have a full family minus Petunia.
Yeah, and I like the repeated characters so that we get to know them a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
The cast is big enough that if you saw, a little bit of each of them during the session, you wouldn't know anything about any of them.
Right, exactly. And that's cool too. Good, very, very good point. Very good point. Oh.
Scarlet is also not there.
Scarlet's also not there. It's true. Thank you.
Missing Scarlet and Petunia.
Scarlet Petunia. But not for long, probably. Whoa. Oh, thank goodness. What a twist there, peeps. I was quite impressed with all of you.
You sent Adam down the dumbwaiter. Oh my goodness.
When the food comes up, it has to be safe.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that's going to be so concerning is when Adam is... That's going to be the really concerning part.
Well, I mean, if Adam goes down, that's on Adam. Adam did that of their own volition.
That's on Adam.
Yeah, no, they did that of their own volition. I did not order them down there. I
That's
simply
true.
said that was probably the best place in the house to find chocolate, and that's true.
To be fair, I was going to go down there with Adam in hide and seek if he hadn't suggested.
Oh my. Well, this worked out better, I think.
Oh yeah, so much better.
And you are on so many shit lists.
I know.
Croft.
Yours, just yours.
You better sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to come into the garage.
Oh, well.
Unless it rains and you don't go to the garage.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll change my sleeping habits.
There might be a different room for the chauffeur for the time being. We'll see.
Oh, I'm fully expecting Croft not to make it more than a couple of sessions, if that.
Well, see, it's you decide. Although I might be able to recruit the twins for help, but ultimately, my plan was to take all the bedding out of Croft's room in the garage, replace it with all my slashed up stuff, and then put the usual stuff back in my bedroom.
Oh my. Good luck navigating in the dark with that ankle. But I put a pin in that for next session.
At least I don't have to go outside the house just to go to the garage.
True
Well,
story.
at least it's quote unquote easy to get rid of trouble. You just have to trade it in for another secret.
Trauma. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I plan to.
Yeah, that's not trauma.
Yeah, once you have three
That up,
hired.
there's no healing in this game really, so
There's recovery,
If you manage to get,
but not
you can
really
recover
healing.
some trauma if you have basically time off.
Yeah, you have to
Right.
either take a day off or go into town, basically.
Yeah, and not all trauma is physical, anyways, but it all adds up.
True story in real life, doesn't it?
mental explanation.
Excellent. All right. Anything else you guys wanted to chat about? We have we're like 15 minutes early, but again, that's kind of been like, I think that's the 2 and 45 has been like our spot we've been hitting for a while.
I'll get you next time, Adam. Next time.
But so yes, let's do that. And I'm asking because I want to know how I'm doing for you guys. And this is my first time doing, in essence, a social role-playing game with some other stuff linked on. So if you guys would mind, and I won't hold anything against you, I would like to do the roses and thorns thing. Thorns can only be directed against me, not fellow players, but roses can be directed at whoever you like. So how about we do Jason, if you're okay with that? You don't have to participate. I'm looking for feedback, and I'm sure your fellow players are looking for feedback too. So
Poor Mr. Current suffered so much. And every time I seem to be getting ahead, it's like, yay, gain a prestige, and then no, lose it. And I'm like, no.
I can't tell if that's a rose or a thorn.
Yes. But nobody else is getting ahead either, so I mean, yeah, I can't complain too much.
Yes. And I'm not sure if you guys all understand what that means. Is basically give a feedback, criticism, constructive criticism is the thorn, the rose is something you did really well, that type of thing.
It is enjoyable at the pace of things. It's like, we're getting ahead, no, we're getting knocked back, and so ultimately everything is futile, which is fabulous.
Which is, it's kind of the point.
It really should be. I mean, even our playbook say your pointless moves.
Mm-hmm.
So a rose I would have is, loved, obviously, the pen knife transition into a pen knife, and someone just scared the heck out of me. Great use of the move, without being something inherently, vindictive or, obviously taking the move itself just, is aggressive. But a thorn possibly for you, Scott, is I think with this game, I feel like we should either be, transitioning to open secrets, or there needs to be a better way to communicate stuff to you.
Sure. I get you.
Because there's, times where I'd be like, well, this situation comes up, I'll, do this, that, or the other thing, and, and try and, frame someone or, whatever. But, doing that seems, a little bit harder in this kind of situation if we're truly keeping things, off the record.
Right. Like, and Philip knows, but Jason doesn't. And I, of course, know. So how do we keep track of all that? And yes.
I don't know, again, it becomes, hard to keep track of things too, in terms of what one person knows versus, other people know.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
But I don't know if there's a better way to, you can whisper, on Roll20, but I don't know if you're focusing on Roll20 or if you're focusing on, Twitch, depending on where you're viewing.
Right. I mean, how about this? Let's talk about this between sessions on Discord. Okay. I think that's a perfect discussion to have because, I see when we originally started, I kind of wanted it to be like, I want you guys to, root out the mystery between everyone. However, yes, it's starting to get to the point where it's arduous. And is it necessary when you already have all these troubles to try to figure out and deal with and that kind of thing?
And I don't know. I mean, I like not knowing what the other player's secrets are too.
Right. Mm-hmm. There is something cool about that. Gotcha. Well, yeah, let's talk about it in Discord. That's a really great conversation to have. So thank you for bringing that up. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, I don't think I have any thorns. I know I'm allowed to. Don't worry. I will absolutely criticize. I feel like criticism too. I really liked how Steve and Jason, you both really characterized your characters super well. Like I can totally imagine them, and there's just consistency in how each of you is doing your character, and I really, really appreciate that, especially in a context like this. And then Scott, I loved the kind of balancing act that you did between having it driven by us, but also giving a clear direction to see. I was super worried and nervous when you first said okay, why don't you say what scene you're going to do with a member of the family at the beginning? I don't want to have to come up with the situation. But then when you were just okay, well, just give me the name of the person and then I'll put the situation. I really liked that, and I thought it was super good.
Sure. And again, I kind of wanted you guys to. I think the key to this is that there's a theme for each session too. I think it's let's have an activity to do, to focus on instead of that minutiae I keep talking about. Mm-hmm. So let's do that. But at the same token, like I said, like you were commenting at the beginning when I'm okay, so let's pick a person you want to do something with, and I can create the scene and we can do that part. But I'm just trying to create reasons for you to specifically focus on the 3 or so or however many that I'm kind of looking to focus on for the session and work from there. Of course, but as we saw, there are peripheral individuals coming into, view, or at least their vomit is, at any time. So who can say? But yeah, definitely. So I think the trick here will be to have, reasons for you to be doing things with the family, as opposed to just, hey, it's another day of service. What are you up to? Type of thing. It's as you guys have commented, I'll try to keep up on the getting to know you, parts where we kind of focus on several of the family members at once and kind of get a feel for them, and then kind of go from there. And eventually, you'll read them like a book.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Anything else?
Just trying to keep all the rooms and all the people straight is kind of hard, but that comes with time.
Mhm.
Well, and that's another reason, feel free to use your world anvil. That's another reason I'm using it. So we can, like, I'll be going over this session and documenting anything we missed, or anything we added, like, the masks in the dining room. Was it dining room? Or, yeah.
No,
Like-
the drawing room.
The drawing room. So masks in the drawing room, that type of thing. So, when do what I'm doing, basically, is what I'd recommend, and keep up World Anvil. Not the page that gives you the Twitch feed, because we don't want that, but the actual learn about the Malbanes thing, which I put in the description for us and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, so what I've been doing at least, is like, okay, we're talking about this person or this room. Let's go to my listing, which I've written down everything we've established about it so far. And that gives me everything I need to go on. So can maybe kind of keep a tab handy for that, is my recommendation. But yes, as time goes by, it's only 10 sessions. But as time goes by, I think we'll be familiar with the ones we find important when all is said and done.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do.
Awesome.
Oh, I do have one quick question about the system.
Yes.
How does advancement work? Do we have to accumulate 5 prestige in order to be able to take an advancement?
Yeah, if I recall correctly, you go from 5 to 0 on the precipice of being booted out of the household again. So
Okay.
it forces you to advance and then make some prestige real fast. Do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
Whatever
Or
you need to do.
get more than 5 prestige.
Yeah,
I don't think
you're maxed out at 5. I
Oh,
think
you're
you are.
maxed
I think you are maxed out at 5. That's part of the deal.
Yeah.
It
Alright.
wants to put you in that position where you're suddenly desperate for prestige, and now the system is forcing you to do stupid shit.
It's like a hamster wheel that you can try and never actually get it.
Yeah, just like Jason says, it's like, no matter what we do, we're right back here.
It's all pointless.
It's all pointless. Why even go on living? Yep. Awesome. All right. Well, let's close this one down. Excellent episode. Again, you guys really, my roses are just all around. I loved your interactions with the family, the kids, trying to make the best of the situations. I think this is also our first episode where we had to ignore the strange for reals.
Right.
And kind of have to experience, when stuff goes bad. So that kind of thing. So yeah, roses all around. Again, you're, as Philip said, you guys are, your characters are recognizable. At this point, I could literally just read a text of your lines and know exactly who is speaking, given, the way they're, what's the phrasing and what's said and that kind of thing. So yeah, exceptionally well. So anyway, so yes. So since I'm talking about the stars of the show, the players, let's say goodbye to them right away. Let's say bye to Steve.
Bye. You're not getting anything.
And we have Jason. And we
I'll
have
be better next time.
You'll be healed up, theoretically. We'll see. Awesome. Yes, thank you for everything, Jason. You're awesome as always. And Philip, last but not least.
Yeah, have a wonderful night, everybody. A better night than we had.
Yeah, a better night than the staff. All right, I am Scott's Case Files, the channel you're watching. If you're watching me on Twitch, all the social media stuff is below in the about. Definitely check that out. Please think of following and possibly subscribing, support the channel. I'm now a Twitch affiliate, so you can do that kind of thing. And if you're watching this on YouTube, think about subscribing and then hit the little bell to be alerted of when I post new stuff, which is every single week. Mostly actual plays, as you see. But yeah, thanks for coming around. Extra thank you as always. I tend to gush on about my players because they're so freaking awesome. I think one of the things I hope that you as a viewer have noticed is that, again, these are really good role players. These are you see the characters, you see the development, you see the choices being made. I'm not sure if you've ever been in like acting classes, but it's like they talk a lot about choices. Like you're given, they'll do exercises where they throw you in a situation at random and you're expected to make a choice, decide how you're going to go from there, what's going to happen, what's on your mind, and they do it so well. So yeah. So anyway, I'll stop gushing for now. But stars of the show, there's a reason they're always up high. Anyway, I bid you a fond farewell until next week when we find out what becomes of poor Adam. Maybe. The rest of the Malbanes and the staff, hopefully I'm sure they all come together and, roast marshmallows over a fire or something like that, all together and sing songs. Kumbaya. Probably not. Spoiler alert. So anyway, take care, be healthy, get vaccinated, and do good things, be good to each other, go forth and do no harm, and we'll see you next week. But bye for now.
Good night.